you guys. Hello. Oh, lots of people here. Fun. Hi, we guys, are we having lovely New Year's Eves at home? You guys get me in my living room today instead of my bedroom because Hetero Life Mate's asleep because he has to be at work at 4 a.m. And so I am downstairs with Step Baby frauded. So I have to try to keep my language G-rated. So we're going to try. And then I've got this little one. I see PG-13. She says PG-13. So I have to keep my language PG-13. Major snowstorm. We'll stay inside then. Yeah. Watching CNN show. Yeah, I'm watching that too. Yeah. Happy New Year. Yeah. You know, it's funny because I hadn't really considered doing this. I wasn't going to come on. But then I was like, oh, I should let you guys know. You can't be cuddling with Hetero Life Mate too. He's asleep. He goes to bed at 8. You can cuddle with the dogs with me. And then Tony, come here. So the snack pack. Yes, I do the fraudcast. I forget. Oh, so and then Hetero Life Mate asked me if I was going. Oh, here's Lunchbox. Come here, Lunchbox. He asked me if I was going to be live with you guys tonight, and I thought, maybe I will because I know at least when I was newly sober, it was really hard to be like the holidays were weird and stuff, and I spent like my first New Year's Eve sober, like I had just gotten back from rehab, and so I just gotten back from rehab like a week before, like right before Christmas, and so I went to an Alcathon meeting, which is like they do meetings like every hour, like 45-minute meetings every hour on the hour during holidays and stuff. So I went to that, and then I met all these girls that are still like my really good friends now, 4 years later. I think, and then I went home and I think I went to sleep. You guys are asking me about Laura's live. I haven't watched it. She has me blocked, so I have to go to like an alt to watch it, and I was just busy doing other things. So one of you guys has to like clue me in on what happened because I did not watch it. Go party. It's about whatever. We could talk about 90 dates. Just, let's just chat. Let's hang out. We can talk about 90 Day, which to the extent we can. I love Laura. She's entertaining. Like I said, I didn't watch it, and I was talking to Hanakawa, and she caught like 2 minutes of it. She couldn't handle it. She turned it off. So boring and uneventful. Okay. Well, why are you live? I don't get it. Do you have news? No, we're just going to chat. You don't have to be here. There's no breaking news. That's, sorry. So what do I think of Ricky quitting social media? It's probably smart, but like the way he did it, I don't know. Like he went live with like Yates and stuff. Like, I don't know. I didn't watch it. I know it's backwards, but this is my Sober Unicorn t-shirt. It's like super comfortable. And a dog burying her head behind me. What is she doing? So Ricky, okay, so Ricky was on Before the 90 Days a couple seasons ago, and he was going and he sat at this restaurant for this girl named Melissa for like 3 days, and then she shows up, and then she blows him off, and then he meets up with his quote-unquote backup girl, Jimena, and then he proposes to her too with the same ring he had brought for Melissa. And all in all, we think it was just a big fraud. I'm not going to talk about that, Martha Nanny. Ricky was a fraud. I believe so, yes. And then there was a bunch of like off-screen drama that he had with like a blogger and stuff. Yes, so if the Instagrammer saves you're asking if there's a way to watch the live after it's been live. Yes, if the Instagrammer saves it to their stories, it'll be in their stories for 24 hours. So I do that, and then I also will upload it to my YouTube, which is Frauded by TLC on YouTube. So so mine will always be available. I started doing that a couple weeks ago, I think. What are you doing, Tony? Ugh, my dogs. Ricky wasn't lying about the Christy stuff. Is Christy... Oh, the blogger Christy? I don't know. I'm staying out of the blogger wars. Oh, Shawnee, hi! Is the creepy old guy from Connecticut still married to the young Filipina? Do you mean, like, this season? She's not Filipino. Tammy's another blogger that Yates had problems with. When is episode 11? It's out now! Kellyanne Zimmer, it's out now! Yeah. It's out. Oh, Michael and Juliana, but she's not Filipina. She's Brazilian. Mark and Nikki. Oh, they're in Baltimore, right? So they're actually close to me. Yeah, I don't know. No one's heard anything from them. I think Jason Hitch talks to them every now and again. Last we heard, they were still together. Jason gave me an update on them, but he hasn't given me anything further. So, Tony, stop. So, this is my couch. This is my living room. You guys usually get me on my bed. Tony, stop. Dogs. Did he get deported? What happened to Jay, the Jamaican? I don't know. I saw a picture recently that had both Jay and Ashley in it. So Muhammad did not get deported. What do I think of Jason Hitch? Did you listen to my interview with Jason Hitch? That will tell you everything you need to know about my feelings about Jason. Jason and I would say, we're friendly. I think a lot of people don't think that I am because of the way I talked to him, the way I asked him questions about on when I interviewed him. But I've been talking to Jason for like a year on like instant message DMs and stuff. So that's how I've always talked to him. We've always conversed that way. And so on the interview, it was exactly the same way as we've always talked. That's why he was laughing and stuff. This is who he is. This is who I am. You know, I'm an angry feminist and he's a raging misogynistic dick. So you put us together on an interview. You know, Jason was season 2 with Cassia. They're now divorced. Tony, stop. Tony Lunchbox has learned this whine, and he does it all the time now, just to, like, his voice. Just to, like, yeah. Yeah, straight up called him out. I did, and I do all the time. There's nothing new. The one that had scabies? No, that's Sean. You can't picture okay, so he is there's a picture of him on my Instagram, with Cassia, and why'd they get divorced? Because they were such a bad match. Happy New Year. Oh, Catry, you're my my graphic design queen. Catry is the one who did a lot of designs. In fact, Catry did this design. So you see her right there, Catry? She designed this. That's my travel mug. Hitch and Cassia was domestic. Well, there was a domestic violence incident. He was not found guilty of it. So, I don't know how much that played into it, but it was indicative of their whole, like, relationship, I think. Oh, Chantal Viada. You need to do some boots on the ground journalism for us. The artwork, so the logo is what I like, the frauded logo. It's the Fraudcast logo, and she did the font work on it, the design around it. The swipe ups, it didn't work. Okay. If you go to talkersoffraud.com/store, .com/store, and you can find it there. What happened to iHeart's account? Instagram pulled it down. We don't know. She has a backup account that she's done everything with. She's in the middle of disputing this because we don't know what happened. Oh, hi, Hanakawa. I was trying to convince her to come live, but how do I screen information being DM'd to you, whether you can share the information with the Fraudcast? Oh, that's a complicated question. Because I do get a lot of information. Some of it is stuff we know. Some of it is stuff that, we need to dig into. Some of it is tips. Some of it is like filling in holes on things. Some of it is just like, oh, this is a good tip to go follow up on and stuff. So depending on what we get sent, we will, follow it up appropriately using appropriate investigative techniques, if that makes sense. It just depends on what it is. If somebody comes to me and says, I'm so-and-so's brother, and I'm like, okay, well, this happened. Okay, so Ben's brother came to me and was like, yeah, I'm his brother, and I have all this information. And I was like, okay, how do you prove to me you're his brother? Prove it. How do I know you're not just some Joe Schmo? So I grilled him, and I made him prove to me that he was his brother. And then the information he was giving me. So people, if they give me information, I don't just take it at face value. There always has to be something that backs it up. There has to be a reason why it's credible. And there's a lot of things that can make something credible. Whether it's backed up by a lot of other sources. I've been practicing law for, 10 years. I've been, in the courtroom and stuff. And so there's a lot of different ways you can support credibility on things, whether it's an interview, whether there's documentary evidence that supports it. You have to evaluate what their bias is, what their preconceived notions, what their agenda is in telling you. A lot of the cast tells me stuff, but I inherently don't believe it because they're cast and they always are trying to push their agenda. And so if they tell me something, my default is to not believe it. So I do labor law. So it's nothing related to the show. And I don't litigate anymore. I'm not in the courtroom anymore. No one cares about Ben. Oh, that's funny. We're not talking about anybody specific. We're just chatting. People, to just somewhere to chat on a New Year's Eve. Ben is pretty boring. He's a liar. That's what I can't handle. Hey, did I know Marcel and Anna are married? Yeah, we were one of the ones that broke that news, actually. We have their wedding certificate on our page. Ben's boring, but he's also a liar, you guys. He's a bad, bad liar. He's lied so much. If you haven't heard my interview with Hanakawa, that was actually pretty tame. But my interview with Ben's brother is I would classify it as explosive. I would recommend go listen to my interview with Ben's brother. But he's a liar. He's a liar about everything. He implied that he was cheated on and left destitute, and that's not true. That's not how it happened. No. Robert and Anna, wait. Are you talking about Marcel and Anna are married? I think he's here in the United States. Yeah. Well, we don't have a marriage certificate for Angela and Michael. Yeah, so we don't have a certificate for Mike and Natalie, and we don't have a certificate for Michael and Angela. I saved my sanity when flying from Europe. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Which episode did I interview Brother Ben? I want to say it was 8. I'd have to look. It's the one after Hot Boxer. So I think it's 8, yeah. Robin and Annie are married, yeah. Yes. They're married. Emily and Sasha, we believe so. Yes. Yes. Do you think they're going to show Angela in Nigeria? Yes. Nothing with Nicole and Azan. Yeah, there's too many to keep up with. The Russian and the broke guy, they're all broke. So yeah, Emily and Sasha, you guys did see my post the other day that that whole Sasha throwing food away scene was staged, right? That was all fake. So you guys saw that. Tanya is married, yes. Tony, what are you doing? Oh, Caesar. Yeah. I suspect that TLC is paying the bill on some of these, even though they normally don't. Angela, normally TLC doesn't pay like the initial stuff, but I think with Angela, because she's been on so many seasons, I think, TLC might be helping foot the bill on that to facilitate the show. That was staged. Oh my God, I need to, yeah, yes, you do. Why are they not being outed to the TLC executives? Yeah, no, they know. TLC executives know. Okay, this Caesar on Naked and Afraid. I don't know. I have to read the articles, although it was, I think, a clickbait article that said that. I don't know the accuracy of that. I don't know the veracity of that. Naked and Afraid. Oh, excuse me. Naked and Afraid as a show is amazing. Amazing. I love that show. I get really into it. It was pure speculation. Nothing confirmed about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a great show. It's a legitimate show. They put people literally naked into these jungle scenes, and I watch it and I'm just like, ugh. What state am I in? I'm in Northern Virginia, just in the DC metro area. Caesar wants Maria to watch him be naked. No, he wouldn't survive. Darcy needs rehab. How do they afford to get nails done and travel and have all these nice clothes? Who? Macy did Naked and Afraid? Really? Did Tom and Darcy marry? No, they were never a legitimate couple. They're going to be on this season. A new season of Before the 90 Days. Well, I hope with a name like Nova Fairfax, you're in Nova. I'm in Alexandria. Hi. Tom is a con, you can tell. Well, we knew he's a con because we outed him. Yeah. We outed him back in the summer. Are Stacey and Darcy's dad actually rich? Yeah. How are Tom and Darcy on the new season? She's a TLC darling. So he can dump her like Jesse did, basically. How do I know that for sure? How do I know what for sure? He was in the top 5. Yes. So our show today is our top 12 frauded moments of the year. So check that out when you guys get a chance. Laura wants to take a dump at my house. At my house? Oh, good Lord. We need to remember, people, how Tom was a fraud, stealing people's pictures. Yes. How do I know that Tom was a fraud? He was stealing people's pictures on Instagram and posting them as his own. And we have all of it on, we have all of it posted on my page. He was taking people's pictures from Instagram, like luxury pictures, and posting them as if they were his own. And we found like the originals and we posted them side by side. That doesn't mean he wasn't really with Darcy. Sure. I mean, it depends on what you believe his intentions were, I think. Yeah. They are together. Marcel and Anna are together, the bees. They need a refreshment. Frauded. Okay. Yes, Anna and Marcel are together. Pedro and Chantel are hopefully just taking a much-needed break from TV. Yes, I busted him. Tom on the fraud? Yeah. I have no idea with Laura and Chantel T. Okay, if you don't believe me, then why are you here? Is Fernanda... I don't know if Fernanda's a citizen. I don't know if she got it. Happy New Year's, everyone. It's 11:42, so we have 17 minutes on the East Coast. Yeah, Tom says he lived in Colonel something's, like Colonel Mustard's house, and it's like owned by the government, and it's like the equivalent of public housing or something. Yes, Sinjin and Tanya are still married. Somebody posted a picture with Tanya and Sinjin in New Orleans together. No, they got married in Nebraska. That's what their marriage certificate says. Okay. Poor Sinjin. He's a grown-ass man. Let him do what he wants. Yeah, like the hurricane. That's me. Yes, they get paid for the episodes. Anna and Marcel got married in Nebraska, yes. Yeah, she is a nightmare. But he's a grown-ass man. He's choosing to be married to her. It's, Yeah, you have to be above the poverty line, and I don't know what the cost is. Other people know. It depends, but it's like thousands and thousands of dollars. What happened to the Colombian chick with Tim? They were never a couple, either. Yeah. I don't know why people come in and just talk shit. Like, it doesn't... Oh, sorry.
It's PG-13.
It's fine. Okay, sorry. Step Baby Frauded is in here, so... I think they're gone, that person. Did Tanya bang her dance instructor? Probably. They got married in September. Yes, we will see the Brazilian redhead with Colt on 90 Days. They've filmed and are filming. Some of them are fake, yeah. It's almost 2020. I got 14 minutes. Happy New Year. Yeah, we're going to see Colty again. Annie and David is a legit couple, yeah. Yep. She only held back because of the cameras. What are you talking about? I think he's back in Vegas. I thought Colt was back in Vegas. I have not talked about TLC Go's just landed yet. I'm not sure what the purpose is. I haven't actually finished it. I have 1.5 episodes left. Every time I go to watch it, something happens and I don't get through it. Yeah. God, I'm getting tired. 13 minutes. No one cares about Colt. I know, but they're going to do a whole new season. They're legit. Robert and Annie, I think, are legit in the sense that they think that they're he thinks he's in love with her and she wants a green card. I think it's transactional. Was Laura really pregnant? No. Is St. John dating the tiramisu lady? That's Tanya's mom? No. They're filming again. Jenny's filming in Palm Springs. Yes, both Vanessa and Jess will be on. No, Laura's not on another one. No. Smith and Jenny will be on again. Yeah, Larissa filmed too, and I think Eric did too. Oh. How do I know all this stuff? Lots of reasons. There's lots of reasons why I know these things. A lot of research, a lot of investigation, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. There's so much stuff that I know that I can't share, which kind of sucks sometimes, but they do get more money with each subsequent season. Molly really loved Luis. Luis was here in it for the green card. And as soon as they got married, he was over it. She might be on a Where Are They Now episode. Oh. Lots of dumpster diving. Yeah, we dive into all the dumpsters for you guys and find all this stuff. Women know how to investigate. Well, I mean, I have a background in it, and Hanakawa is an analyst by trade, so our sort of nature is inquisitive and digging into this stuff, and I sort of fell into it. It goes back a long way, but yeah, I mean, I got to a point where now I know this. I mean, I do a lot of work to get this information, and I have a team. I mean, it's not just me. Man, I wish, no, because you know why you don't wish you know what I know is because I get a lot of penis pictures and vagina pictures. I get a lot of naked people. People send me naked pictures. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to the new year, you guys. Corey and Evelyn. I'm so tired of talking about Corey and Evelyn. We just talked about them. How did Muhammad not get deported? Because Danielle could not prove that their marriage was a fraud. That's why. Wait, which fraud site called John's work asking for cocaine? That was Tammy. That's what you guys keep asking me, who this Tammy girl is. Why is Natalie and her mom always laying in the bed? I don't know. Happy New Year. You have to wake up your husband for a kiss. Don't forget, Step Baby frauded. To call Grandma. FaceTime Grandma. No. For free, by the way. Yeah. We make no money for this. Yes. And we buy. Yeah. So we don't make any money for doing this. And in fact, I outlay money to do the podcast because my podcast hosting fees, my Adobe Audition software, I have to pay for that per month because of the way Adobe works. Swag, all of that kind of stuff, and just all of my time, yeah, I don't get paid for this. I pay out money for this. So if I push, my merch, whatever, but you guys actually said you wanted the merch, so that's why I got it. Would be nice if we got paid. I know. Muse is saying she does, Muse does a lot of videos on her page, and that's a lot of work. I don't do videos. Did Danielle actually have an STD? I don't know, you guys. I don't know that it was ever. It depends on who you ask, too. She says it wasn't. I don't know. Oh, Scorpio loves your pop socket and your bag. I don't work for them. Why do I get so involved? Started out as just a super fan, and then I started looking into something. I looked into this couple, looked into that couple, and then I just sort of I fell into the trash can and kind of liked it and started posting, and then my Instagram kind of blew up, and it just became fun. And then the podcast, and it's just fun. TLC has never reached out to me. No, they have bitched about me to cast members, but they have never reached out to me directly. No, because it's fun. It is fun. That's why I do it. It's fun. Oh, we have 7 minutes.
Ooh, 7 minutes till New Year.
Yeah. I got Andy and Andy on. Thank you for your service. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm dumpster diving, so you don't have to. It's fun. I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with the podcast, fun putting the show together. Hanakawa and I have become friends. Instagram doesn't pay people at a certain fan base, but once you start getting a certain number of followers, other people, you could be contacted to advertise for them. So, I was reached out to, the people who do the clickbait, the clickbait stuff, they reached out to me to advertise or to do their stuff. And I said no, because I don't believe in that. Your first holiday in Atlanta. Happy New Year, y'all. 6 minutes. Poop tea. The poop tea people haven't reached out to me either. No. I get paid for the fanium. That's it. That's all I get paid for. Somebody reached out to me, some mom and pop shop wanted to be, wanted me to promote her stickers, and we were supposed to talk about it. I don't know. I can be an ambassador and get sponsors. You're a promoter for everything. Yeah, I would be happy to do that. I got a FabFitFun box, which I sent to iHeart Reality TV shows because I already have my own subscription. Yeah. Fanium doesn't pay me, but I love to play. So many divorces and none deported. Well, it's hard because the deportation, you have to prove the marriage was a fraud, and it's hard to prove that because it's usually even if it was a fraud, they've done enough to convince the person that they love them. So it's hard. I think our next episode of the Fraudcast, we're going to have a former Customs and Immigration official, visa officer, on the show. And we're going to interview them. He's going to come on and talk and tell us all of this stuff. All of the, all of that background stuff. So we're excited about that. Because they have to show that the marriage was done under fraud, that they came here fraudulently, and that's a hard bar. But yeah, so this former visa officer is going to come on and interview and talk about all that stuff and give us his insight. So we're very happy about that. We're in the process of trying to schedule it. We want it for the next episode to start the new year. 5 minutes until... There you go, guys. But the sponsors are responsible for 10 years. Yeah. Well, we're going to get clarification on what exactly that means. I don't know who it is. Would I find an international guy? Oh, ex-ambassadors. I'm behind a few seconds. Oh, somebody just said I'm their favorite to follow. I'm watching CNN. The way I understand sponsorship is that it's like if they were to go on public assistance, it's not like they have to actually maintain their standard of living for 10 years. It's if they go on public assistance or something like that, you know. It's something like that. Yes, that's exactly, actually that question was the one I had in mind if you saw in the email, Hanakawa. Yes, Love After Lockup. I'm a huge fan. They have to pay for everything for 10 years. It's not like that. It's only like if the person were to go on public assistance or something, then they have to jump in and pay or something like that. So yeah. Yeah, keep them off government aid. So yeah, they have to prevent them from going on government aid. I think that's what it is. Because they're not like it's like a 10 years where they can't get government aid. Hey, put the iPad down.
Okay,
You got 1 minute. It's baby step frauded. Yeah, if they got in trouble, they don't want this person becoming a burden to the government in any... the houses real on Pillow Talk. The houses are real, but they don't watch the show. They're watching clips of the show weeks in advance. Baby step frauded, yeah. Baby frauded's on a cruise with his dad. Oh, you guys, it's Happy New Year on the East Coast. We're watching the ball drop together. Woohoo! Hey, put the iPad down. Yeah, it's baby frauded and baby step frauded. Baby step frauded. 20 seconds, and then you have to FaceTime Grandma.
Hey, Sam. Bring me to FaceTime.
I'm not showing your face.
Mom.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Why is your dad awake? Why are you awake?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You're not supposed to be awake.
I know.
What about your work? You're supposed to leave in like 2 hours.
There's hetero life, mate.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
You're welcome, you guys.
I just woke up to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you kissed the dog. Well, I've got this
Go to
doggy.
the bathroom. But Happy New Year.
I got little snack pack here.
Hi. Happy New Year.
You gonna come kiss me?
Happy New Year. Love you. Happy New Year, Luna.
Hetero life, mate.
Happy New Year, Tony. Can't go back to bed.
Okay, go back to bed.
Okay.
Always good luck to kiss the dog first. Mwah. Tony,
Love you.
how's the cold in DC? You know what? It was like almost 70 degrees today. It was ridiculous. Yesterday and today, I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Love you.
love you. Bye.
Bye. Daddy went upstairs.
Yeah. And you need to go upstairs to bed too.
Bye. Love you. Tomorrow's not a school day, is it?
It is midnight. And you are 10 years old.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's been really warm here. Last couple of days. It's been weird. What's my 2020 vision? I've got stuff in mind for the podcast that I want to do. Give me a hug.
Mr. Randy would say you have no puns.
I've got stuff in mind for the podcast. I don't know, I have stuff in mind for my sobriety journey. I just got a new sponsor, so I'm working some stuff in a new way. I have a new service position. Love you, sweetie. So I've got, my goals are always to continue to improve myself and continue to be a good person and work on that. Do I think social media is addicting? It certainly can be, yes. If you're an addict like me, you can get addicted to anything. I work very hard on setting boundaries for myself about my social media with my Instagram getting so big, and then with the podcast and stuff. I have to set very clear boundaries about it. I turn my notifications off during the day, so that I don't get notified about stuff. I'll come check it later. I have designated times where I come in and I check it, and I'm okay, that's my time. I'm going to work on the show, on putting the show together, and that's my time. I'm going to check my social media, and that's the time I'm going to be posting, and I stick to that pretty closely. The one thing I have to be more careful about is if I get up to pee in the middle of the night, not checking my phone, because so often what has happened is I will check my phone and I will get a message from somebody. The most recent one was Sasha's second wife had messaged me from Russia, and I end up having this huge long conversation in Russian with her in the middle of the night. It's 4 a.m, and I can't do that if I'm working the next day and stuff. So I have to be careful about that. So that's a boundary that I'm working on. But yeah, so I just turn my notifications off for Instagram just because that's where all of my stuff comes. But I don't the notifications for my phone. I do set it to do not disturb if I'm writing, if I'm in the middle of writing a memo or focused work where I don't want any notifications. I'll tell hetero life mate, I'm like, hey, I'm going dark for a couple hours. And so he, doesn't get worried if he doesn't hear from me or whatever. Especially since I work at home and you never know what's going to happen with the dogs and everything. You never know. If I'm not responding, then he'll get worried. Tony! Lunchbox, what are you doing? Turn it to silent when I go to bed. Yeah, like the do not disturb feature is really good. And sleep time modes, those are all really good. I think, social media, just like anything else, can be addicting. If you want to have the boundaries, though, like, you can have it. You can have boundaries. You need to be good about setting them. You need to be genuine that you want those boundaries. And if you're not, then it doesn't matter. It's like anything else. Like, before I got sober, I didn't want to get sober, so I didn't stop drinking, right? I didn't try to not drink because I never wanted to until suddenly I did want to get sober. So with social media, I wanted the boundaries. I wanted the clear-cut times away from it and where I wouldn't be responsive to it, where I'm not constantly looking at it, and my brain space isn't occupied with it. So I want that separation. So I set these boundaries, and I generally do pretty good about sticking to them. Good night, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us. So anyway, yeah. So the number of viewers suddenly dropped significantly. I appreciate that you guys were, on and wanted to do this, If you are somebody who's struggling with sobriety or struggling with alcohol or substances, and this is a hard time for you, you can hit me up privately, hit me up on DM, and, mention something about it. I'm happy to talk to you. Those of you guys who have done that before know it. They know that. I have talked to them in the middle of the night. I've done, you know what I mean? Like, there are people, maybe some of them are on here or not, I don't know. Yeah, I know he posted it. I saw that. I'm not going to waste airspace on that. So yeah, I've talked to addicts in the middle of the night. I've had messages from you guys saying I'm struggling. I've had messages from you guys saying, I'm not struggling. I'm just a fellow sober person. And, there's some honestly that have made me cry, and, it makes me happy that I'm so open about it, because to see that effect on other people, we talk about in sobriety, in the program that I work, we talk about, in order to keep this, we have to give it away, and I'm into 12-step, and, it's not everybody's thing. I understand that. All right, go listen to episode 11. Yes. I'm into 12-step. It's not everybody's thing, but it is mine. And so the 12th step is about service to other alcoholics or addicts. We say alcoholics, but I do work with other addicts. Some of you guys know that I go into the jail, the local jail here, and I work with the sober living unit, the women in the sober living unit, and I actually work with them when they get out too. I'm the local repository in my neighborhood for women getting rid of clothing when they're like, when you go through your closet and you're getting your, like cleaning out your closet and you have like bags of stuff, instead of going to Goodwill, like they let me know and I come by and pick up these bags of clothes because I donate them to the women at the halfway houses that I work with. Because they're coming out of jail and so many of these women just don't have anything. If I can help a woman, I had like a bunch of suits from when I first started practicing law. I was a lot bigger. So I had like these really nice Ann Taylor suits and stuff, and I couldn't wear them anymore. But they needed them for job interviews. They just got out of jail. They don't have anything, right? So, and a lot of them have changed sizes since they were in jail before or whatever, or since before they went to jail. So, like, I am always happy I donated my old stuff, but then I pick up from other women in the neighborhood. So they'll always message me. So I constantly have a trunk full of bags of clothes. And then when I go over to the halfway house, one of my sponsees, I have a sponsee that lives there. And so when I go over there, then I'll unload it. So just lost a friend this year to addiction. It's such a hard disease to conquer. Yeah. God, everybody is touched by addiction in some way, all of us. Whether it's you, whether it's someone you love, someone in your family, everybody is touched by it in some regard. And if I can do just a little bit to help in some way, to normalize it, to take the stigma away from it, that somebody like me, that looks like me, I'm, a happy, successful lawyer. I was married. I had a kid. All of these things, didn't lose my house, didn't lose my car, hadn't gone to jail, all of those things. And I'm still an alcoholic. I'm just as much an alcoholic as the women who are in jail that I go to, right? We're all the same. They just got caught for their shit and I didn't. So it's humbling to do that too. So, I do it because it helps me stay sober. It's funny they're saying that. So like this behind me, you see this card thing behind me, this thing up on the wall with all those cards. Those were cards that were sent to me when I was in rehab. I keep it up as a reminder of, because it was a time where I felt so broken and nobody loved me and nobody wanted me, and that I didn't matter to anybody. And that's a reminder that I do matter. And it was sort of the beginning of my sort of waking up and realizing that I am important and I matter. And that's sort of the message that I try to give to other people, because I know how lonely that could be. So, especially on a night like this. So if I can be here if one person can hear and somebody comes in going, woo, I'm drunk. That's funny. I was just talking about my sobriety. That's hilarious. You're going to do dry January to start this new year. That's good. That's good. What words were said to you while I was in rehab that touched you? You know what it was? The biggest thing that I can remember, I was sitting on the plane and I was texting this group of friends of mine that had seen me spiraling for the last 2 years, my 2-year death spiral. And bye Amy, thank you. I was texting these friends. I was sitting on the plane on my way, on the tarmac about to go to rehab. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to rehab, all of this stuff. I'm like, how do I go the rest of my life without drinking? Because at that point I didn't know anything else. And my girlfriend said to me, she's like, you don't have to go the rest of your life. You just have to go one day at a time. And it's cliche, and it's one of our, our statements, one of our cheesy sayings or whatever, but it's one of those things that just hit me so hard. I was like, oh, well, maybe I can do this. And that sort of got me started. And I went to rehab with this willingness to be open. And, it is one day at a time. And one day at a time, I've put together over 4 years now, which is unbelievable for someone who couldn't even go a single day without drinking. I couldn't go more than 12 hours. You know what I mean? Like I didn't drink at work, but I didn't mean I didn't leave work early and start drinking or whatever. And drink all night until the middle of the night, and then, be hungover as hell at work or whatever. My Dr. Pepper. I couldn't go a single day without drinking, and now I've somehow managed to put together, 4 years, but I also work a program, and I, have learned, I did a lot of therapy. I was in rehab for 2.5 months. I had therapy and counseling while I was in rehab. And then when I got out of rehab, I was in therapy every week. and whatever my therapist or my sponsor, I got a sponsor right away in my program, and I was going to 8 meetings a week because I did 2 on Saturdays. Yeah, your son, it's so hard. It's so hard, my little mama. You can't enable them, I was enabled for a long time. And would it have changed if, I don't know. Like, I'm a firm believer that it happens when it happens. It takes what it takes to get me into the rooms. What matters is that I got there, Should I have gone to rehab 10 years prior? Yeah. It's, I can say that if you're struggling, it's hard, but it's worth it. I didn't know a life without drinking for so long. I didn't know. It was all I knew. It's my only coping mechanism. So the thought of not drinking was unheard of for me. I'm like, what am I going to do? My life is going to be so boring. But as it turns out, my life is more full and amazing than ever. And had I known that, would I have done it sooner? Whatever. Like I said, it takes what it takes. And I'm incredibly grateful for what